Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and in this video guys, we're going to be looking at energy. And in particular, we're going to look at what I refer to as the big three, right? And that is your regular energy, your ship energy, and your cantina energy. This is not a knock at all on mods. I think mods are very important, but there are other ways to supplement not using mod energy for like refreshes. Right, there are other ways to supplement that through buying mods through the mod store and being smart with your credits. So for this video, guys, we're going to just be looking at the big three energy, right, which is your, again, regular, cantina, and ship energy. We're going to look at how to spend it. We're going to look at how I recommend you split it up between characters, between gear, give you guys my advice, and hopefully help you build a better roster and improve your farming strategies. Now, as we do in every video here, guys, we must first pay homage to our king, Wampa. And we must say, guys, that from the bottom of our hearts, Wampa, we love you and you are our king. And if you were able to, you would smash that subscribe button, leave likes and leave comments, and you would help boost this channel's numbers up, just like all of the legends who are watching this video right now, guys. So what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button. All right, now let's get into the video here, right? The big three energy here, right? How do you want to be splitting this up, right? Where do we want to be focusing? So I'm going to start with Cantina, actually. And I'm going to first click on a character like Chrysanthemum here, right? So I need Chrysanthemum shards. They're only available in the Cantina, right? I can get them in the shipments, but like, let me paint it too in this light. These are, it's going to cost me, 80 crystals per Chrysanthemum shard, right? If I was to spend 200 energy to get Cantina nodes here, if I could get 2 Chrysanthemum shards, I've saved, 40 crystals, right? 20 per crystal, right? That when you do a regular Cantina refresh, if you get 1 Chrysanthemum shard, that is, and get 2 if you get 2 Chrysanthemum shards, right? 2 Chrysanthemum shards, and you have saved yourself crystals from what it costs in weekly shipments, right? So much smarter to just use your crystals to refresh the Cantina. Now, how to split that up, right? Because the other thing to farm in the Cantina, if I go back out here to another character, is relic pieces, right? Is your signal data. So how do you split your energy? In my personal opinion, I don't really think you split it between one or the other. I think that while you need character shards, you farm the character shards you need, and then when you need the signal data pieces, right, you're going to farm signal data out of Cantina. I don't think you want to split them up. You can, right? Like, you're going to get to the same answer at the end of the day, right? That no matter what, you're going to get to your end goal, and it's probably not going to take you longer one way or the other. I just personally like to finish off the character and then get right into signal data. Again, that's just one man's opinion. So that's Cantina energy, right? We're through with that. The next one we'll look at, right? We'll look at regular energy. Regular energy is unique. There's a lot you can do with regular energy, right? There is a lot you can do. Trust me. Like, there's so many good pieces in here, right? There's so many things you can farm with this, right? You've got this node here, which is fantastic for carbonite circuit boards. You've got, what node is it? There's Carbonis in here. Where's my Chirotechs at? There's Chirotechs on one of these nodes. There they are. You got Chirotechs in here, right? I could go on and on. There's also some fantastic hard characters on those nodes as well, right? You've got characters like Armor. You've got, your Inquisitors are on there, right? A lot of your Bad Batch, Bush Leia, Skiffguard Lando, First Order. There's characters for every galactic legend inside of those hard nodes. So my personal opinion with energy is that you want to spend it primarily on characters. That, yes, it's okay to spend some of that refreshing gear, right? Because that's going to happen. But really, you want to focus on characters. Here's the reasoning, guys. You cannot earn characters naturally in this game, right? Like, it is very hard to, you're not going to, if you're going for, and we'll use First Order, right? So if I go to my First Order, and I go to General Hux, right? Because he's a hard node farm. There's no way for me to obtain General Hux shards outside of this node without spending absorbent amounts of crystals, right? He doesn't drop as rewards anywhere. maybe a galactic challenge once in a blue moon, but he's not getting anywhere, right? Let's say you're like, oh, well, I need, a bunch of Carbonis for my team. Well, guess what? Carbonis are going to drop in daily challenges, over the course of a week, right? You think you get these, 3 times? You're going to get this 3 times a week, right? You'll probably get a full Carbonti per week, right? So you're going to earn these over time, but you're not going to earn Huck Shards over time. So it's smarter to farm stuff that's unobtainable elsewhere via your, via your nodes, right? So in your regular energy here between light side and dark side, and I'll just go on the light side as the example, right? You want to be focusing more so on your hard nodes here, right? On the characters you need for Galactic Legend or whatever farm you're doing, right? You want to be focusing your time on these places first before worrying about gear, because gear can be obtained naturally. There's other places that you can get that gear that you can't earn those character shards, right? For the majority of places, right? And I'll just show examples here, right? You can get up to like gear 11 inside of this store, right? You can get gear 13 gear in with guild event currency 2. Now, obviously, I don't recommend rushing here because you want to get these 2 ships as well, but proving the point that there's ways to get this gear, right? You've got get 1, which again, you want to make sure that you're getting these things as well, but there's ways to supplement this farming, right? You've got your Grand Arena store, right, which you can get plenty of stuff in, and then your shard shop, right? There are other ways that you can get gear. There are not a lot of other ways for you to get characters that are on these nodes because they don't appear elsewhere. That is Capital Games' way of making money, by roadblocking you by having to farm characters. So that same concept is going to apply to ships, right? The difference is there's a lot less to farm in with ship energy, right? There's not nearly as many nodes. You got to think that there are, I think, 18 different sectors for you to farm in both light side and dark side, right? There's 9 here. And there are another, I think, 9 more levels here too. Yeah. So in each hard sector, right, there's 4 nodes. So you've got 72 nodes between light side and dark side, right, that have characters on them to farm. That's a lot of nodes to farm, right? Just think about that. 72. For ships, you've got, normal energy, which has some really good rewards in here on fleet battles, right? You've got some really, really good rewards in here on fleet battles because you can start earning some of this gear, some of these gear 13 pieces start showing up. In hard nodes, I think is it 5 per sector, I think? Yeah. So you've got 25 different nodes. Actually, there's 6. That's 5. So there's, 26 nodes to farm inside of ships, right? So not nearly as many hard nodes to farm in ships. My recommendation with ships, right, is a little bit different. That if you're farming a ship, you want to spend as much of your resources in farming ships, right? Because they only have a drop rate of 1. And they take a lot longer to farm. So my personal opinion would be with your fleet battles, you want to be spending as much of your energy farming these ships as you can early on, and then as you get a little bit farther into the game, you can start branching out into gear, right? That you can, recognize, okay, I don't really need the Sith fighter right now. I don't need the, scimitar right now. Maybe I don't even need Dash's ship right now because I don't even have Dash Rendar. So I can maybe spend a little bit on gear and farm these at a later time, right? But maybe you're farming the First Order fleet and you realize you're going to need this TIE Echelon. So you want to farm it up. Advice, focus on the ships here first. And then as your time goes on, start focusing on the gear because there is good gear there. Now, I'm going to kind of show you, kind of talk through the strategy, right? That you want to be focusing on characters and or ships because that's where the, you're not earning those things naturally like you can gear. I spend, in the big 3, if I go out to my energy, right, in the big 3, And I even in mods, I'm doing refreshes, but again, I'm much end game and have a lot more resources at my disposal than majority of you guys watching my channel. So if I'm, maybe only able to spend, say, 50 crystals a day in energy, I'm going to do it in regular. If I'm able to go up to, say, 150, I'm going to do a regular energy refresh and then a Cantina refresh some days. Other days I might do 2 regular and a fleet, or 3 regular, like kind of, work it around a little bit to what my needs are that day. If I can hit to 200, I'm definitely doing a Cantina refresh daily, and then I'm splitting between regular and ships as necessary. And then just building from there, right? That you want to still primarily focus on your regular energy, because there's more stuff to farm there, right? Because that's a good place to get Kyrotex as well, it's your regular energy. But outside of that, you don't really want to be using regular energy to farm gear, because it can be obtained in these stores. But that's just my advice, guys, right? Again, I'll show you one last thing here, right, before we go. One last thing. So my current situation for what I'm farming, right, I'm obviously doing my Lord Vader farm, and I finished up all of his characters, right, as far as starred them up. So now I'm farming the Armorer, Second Sister, Ninth Sister, Bush Leia, and Skiffguard Lando. And that comes out to about 340 energy per day. So if you think about that in terms of crystals, that's about 150 crystals. Those are my 3 energy refreshes, is going towards characters. And then all of my regular energy that I'm, obtaining throughout the day, that I get through my, refreshes, that's all going towards gear. So I'm still spending probably 50-50 between characters and gear, and I have plenty of resources, right? So if I didn't have the additional crystals, I would still be focusing on characters, because the gear is just helping me, speed up my farming for the, okay, I've got that character, I've got all this extra gear saved up that I can do XYZ things. So that's kind of my advice, guys, right? Hopefully you see the picture here, that you really just want to be focusing on farming characters with this, and then as you move through, you can start, getting gear along the way. But that's the video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. If you're still watching, Wampa is king in the comments, guys. You are all legends, scholars. I love you. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.